it was WIT, so they are getting the big deals while Cloverworks is stuck with the anime,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of funny. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're not gonna animate the episode this week. You're gonna animate these two fighting. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
I
Yeah.
I totally just stapled my finger, so that's cool.
What?
Sorry. Sorry about it. Sorry.
Very nice.
Stapler.
I need a band-aid.
Oh no!
Damn, I'm bleeding. Okay.
Oh my god! Okay.
Bro.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, yeah, don't do what I do, kids. Stay in school.
Dear God.
Welcome to the Operation STRIX podcast. I am your host, The Crow. Joining me today is Cool Blu-rays,
Hello.
Roski Draftsman. Roski?
Oh my fucking god, he fucking did.
They got him. They got him.
Fucking got him. All right, we'll try that again, I guess. You know what? No, I'm going to keep all of that. I'm just going to introduce Roski, and then we're going to go from there. Roski Draftsman.
Hello.
Dancing Pineapples.
Hello.
And Sid.
Hello.
Hello. Everyone is sick.
Sick in the head.
Sick.
The magic
Insane
of
in
the
the main.
podcast. You can record even when you're sick. So.
Yes, it's beautiful. Yeah, we you don't see our tired faces right now. This is why we have little funny animals to talk for us. Right. So we're all here. We're back for the chapter 91, and also go over some things we missed last episode that I was going to talk about, and then some other stuff on top of that our commenters pointed out last time about stuff, and then also. What episode was it? Episode 10 of season 2, right?
The Street Fighter collaboration and
yes,
there's
Street Fighter. Damn, a lot of stuff happened, huh?
There's a lot of stuff to talk about this week.
And we literally had
really
an
been a
episode.
Spikes family month.
Right, we literally just had an episode last week, and we're already behind on so much shit. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, should we start off with the anime or the manga first, guys? I'll leave this one up to you.
Let's do the anime.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
the
I think
manga
the
is
manga
loaded.
chapter was a lot.
Yeah.
It was just
pretty
really
long.
juicy. in
Meteor.
terms of
It was
lore.
Meteor.
Media. Yeah.
It was heavy.
This- Yeah, anime was the
Endo's
wholesome
cooking.
appetizer. Finale of the boat arc proper. We finally got to see the family doing family shit at the island. It was adorable. Somebody had pointed out that like this was like the first like oh no, that's not right. But most of this season's been dedicated to the boat arc, so we haven't had the family together. Like I think really this entire season, right?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. They were together for a bit when Yor was discussing how she had to go on this cruise arc trip, and Anya won the prize.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, I guess we'll go together. You know, they were on the train, they traveled in, but then they just separated after that and didn't see each other for the entire arc.
Right, because at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
they weren't even together too, right? Like,
No.
no.
I like Lloyd's face in this one when he's like
Yes.
jumping.
Yeah.
That was so funny. He was
Yeah.
like skipping like a freaking loser, and then he stops when Yor sees him.
Go,
Yeah.
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 The fact that he
I find
didn't
this
stop
one-
immediately.
What
We-
was that, Roski?
So embarrassing.
Yeah, no, I was saying well, how to trying to put my thoughts into words in a way that isn't that doesn't sound as negative as they may sound, because I
Okay.
really liked it.
Oh
No.
boy.
No.
I'm ready.
Exactly, this is exactly the problem. That
Well, when you
whatever I
fix
say
it like
may
that-
sound a lot more
Look.
of a downer than I actually trying to be.
Oh my God.
Die again?
He died.
Literally the worst perfect moment. Like, I'm sorry. The comedic timing on this, like, I have to
Someone
laugh.
killed him. Someone got him.
All
They
the
didn't want
Spikes-
Roski to speak his truth. They
Yeah,
took
the
him out.
Spikes family gods were like, you know.
Shihei Lin had a fucking red dot on his forehead. Okay, since we're on the negative train, I'm not gonna be like super negative because I love pretty much everything about this episode.
Oh look, Roski's back. Hi.
And
Oh,
he's
he's
back!
back?
Look!
It's Riverside. I don't know why it's giving me problems today.
I don't know, dude. Like, you're the only one who ever has problems with this site. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it crashed. The site crashed on me.
Mm.
Okay, I was saying that I like how I think the episode was more beautiful for how it was paced and edited than how it was animated.
Are you
Which
talking
is
about the
to say-
CGI?
Oh yeah, there was
The
a lot of
CGI was
CGI.
pretty bad. I'm not gonna
And
like,
some
that was
Oh,
really
of the boat?
I try not to think about it.
No,
That
I'm
was-
glad
the
it's
only
funny
one.
because
And you know what? I
It
was thinking about that. I was just looking at their faces.
Right.
I was too
Yeah.
distracted by
it-
how cute they were to care, personally speaking, because it's all like
and
background.
I know you're a
me.
sap, but you
Uh-huh.
are pretty much
Yes, I am, okay? Can't
Yeah,
help
but
it.
Get her.
The funny thing is, there was one shot where I was like, "This is a very beautiful shot." Oh, never mind.
When
my
he's
mind
walking towards
actually
it?
went. It was when Lloyd is carrying Anya
yeah.
and Yor, because that shot is actually kind of ambitious. It's actually very beautiful, very slow, because it deserves to be slow. It's the triumphant rest that joins them together. So, she's walking them to the cruiser.
It lingered
That
way
looks-
too long.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's slow. That's and then you see the CG
The boat.
extras in the background. Like, oh god, they look so horrible.
I didn't even care about the. I didn't care about the extras. I cared about the boat. The boat was.
Oh yeah,
rough
the boat.
in this.
The boat
Yeah,
looks.
the boat was rough.
The boat looks low poly for starters. Like there's
Low
places where
poly,
you
oh
actually see
god.
the jacks and like, oof.
Like, the shadowing was weird on it. Like, it didn't make sense, and it was just like.
You could tell it was very, very 3D. Like it
Mhm.
looked like someone like went into like Blender or something and said,
Yeah.
"Let me make a boat."
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, and there will be a boat. It's one of those cases where ambition and artistry do not mesh together. They do not match. And I feel for Cloverworks because incorporating 3D and 2D, as much as we take it for granted today,
Mhm.
it's an absolute bitch. Like, it's the pit.
Yeah.
It's
I
one
understand
of the
that,
hardest things
but
to do.
it's just weird to me because they did it so much better during the assassin scene, where it's like cutting
Yeah.
away and like Yor and them are running, and like it looked a lot better. And I think
But
it might have
that's
to do
actually
with the
because
lighting.
it's so fast.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
that's the funny part about animation. When people are like, "Oh, this fight scene looks so awesome," it's probably the hardest thing to animate. It's like, no, not because it's easy to animate. Mind you, it's still really hard. But when things move a lot, it's really easy. It's a lot easier to mask imperfections in perspective or in parallax or
Uh-huh.
all those things because your eye is constantly adapting to all the stuff that's happening on screen. So
Mhm.
if you see you're running and you see assassins moving in different directions and then see them flying away, like you're not gonna notice as much if the perspective shifts and shadows and all of that stuff that gives a sense of volume to our eyes are a little off.
Yeah.
But when it's
Mm.
just the boat in a slow panning shot, there's nothing to mask it. And you're gonna notice.
With background characters that do not move at all. And see, that's the other side of that, where you were talking about the 3D background characters, like when he's walking. My eyes were stuck on like when it's doing like that weird panning shot around the boat, and it's just a 3D boat, and then it's got like the 2D background characters, but none of them are moving; they're just static.
Yeah.
But like,
They
It was-
look like cardboard.
yeah,
deals.
you know,
Little cardboard cutouts.
No,
Once I
because they are
noticed the
essentially that. They
3D
are a
people-
texture.
Yeah.
But on top of a 3D model, and so it doesn't measure
rough.
well.
Ever since I noticed the 3D people walking in the background, like I can't unsee them now.
Right.
No, yeah, I just.
Thanks, Roski. No play.
At the beginning, I didn't notice them. I just then my eye caught on them and like, oh shit, they look rough.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a small nitpick, especially when I'll tell you what I found fascinating about this chapter, and like okay, so like I loved the music. I loved the little bits that they added where they're like walking and they see the shops and stuff like that. I don't know, it was just a nice little touch. Like, I think it kind of speed run. I think it kind of speed ran it in the manga a little bit, so I'm glad they added a few little scenes here and there. I wanted to talk about that moment with Yor and they're with the sheep, and they have that moment, of course, where that moment with Lloyd and he's staring at Yor, and yes, I fucking love that scene, but I was actually more caught up on the fact that when that manga chapter came out, there was a lot of debate as to who was talking at that moment, where it's like
There was.
Yeah.
yeah,
I was like,
and we
I
weren't
can't
sure
wait
if
for
it was
this.
Lloyd. Yeah, we weren't sure if it was Lloyd who was like, and that's why I have to. But it was actually Yor who said it,
I'm
which
glad.
I found.
I'm not the only one.
I mean,
You're glad?
That was
Okay.
confused.
It makes very much the absolute sense.
I thought
in
it was Lloyd.
retrospect.
Me too.
Yeah, but
Me
yeah.
too.
Well, the way he's looking at her, it just made it seem like But
Right,
Yeah,
because that's how the
it's one of
panel
those
was like
awkward
framed
framing
with the
moments.
words.
yeah,
Yeah.
what-
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it kind of makes sense with yours since this has been centered around her. So.
Around her,
But
yeah,
yeah.
it's like she has been the focus of the arc. So of course, her emotional
Mhm.
stage, her mental stage, is gonna be the focus of.
Those sheep are so
The-
fucked up.
He's so fucked up. What's wrong with the sheep?
They just look so weird.
Really?
I felt so
I think they were
uncomfortable.
going a little more realistic. That's all.
The only thing that made the main thing that made me uncomfortable was the anime only Yuri scenes.
Oh my god! Should we not talk about that though? Like, oh.
Yeah,
So he's
let's
skipping
talk about the
around
other
and,
anime
like,
only scenes.
Yahoo!
It's fucking disgusting.
Sounds like
I hate him.
freaking messed up version of Mario.
I hate him so much. I fucking do. I just-
The
Oh,
laughter.
he
I didn't
wa-
think I'd
he
have to
was
see that
being-
shit again.
I swear, I try and defend him so hard, and then he does shit like
I've given up. I'm like,
And then he goes and does this.
yeah.
at this point, like, I just need to fight him. Like, I need to fight him.
You're
Somebody
you're
has
a
to.
Yuri hater now.
Can we skip to the part where Lloyd kicks his ass? Because I really appreciate that right now.
No, right?
That would make my
I
Christmas.
just think there's other anime only scenes we can talk about. You know,
There's I mean,
the kitchen.
okay, like
I loved the little like shot of Lloyd and Anya riding the horse together. And we were
Mhm.
stupidly excited because like, oh my god, it's like Paladin Lloyd with the horse and stuff.
hell yeah, that was
True.
like Paladin
The
Lloyd.
stick,
No.
crow's stick, forging
Get him a
fire.
get him a
So I'm like,
goddamn
oh
sword.
Well,
my god,
yeah,
they can horseback
but
ride.
no, I was thinking about the keychain.
Get the
Oh, when you're gifted the
keychains.
keychains to the
Yeah.
office ladies, and they were like,
Millie's
"Really?
a bitch.
You got us
No.
this?" I know
Millie's a
Camilla is
fucking
like so
bitch.
ungrateful. Like every time my friends ask me, "Oh, I'm going somewhere. What do you want us to do?" for now?" I always say, "Give me a cute keychain or enamel pin or something."
Okay, but
'Cause
guys, let's like be so fucking real. Is that skeleton really cute?
No.
No, but I think it's really, I think it's
No,
really
not at all.
funny at the very least and very memorable.
It was funny. I think
was
it's
very
I
And
good.
think
like,
it's really
who
funny.
is it? Sharon or something
Could
said
they
like
put,
it's
like, a-
very your of her.
Yeah. Could they put like a pirate hat on it or something? That's all I'm saying. Make it nautical. Like that's
it's like y'all are getting free stuff.
Yeah.
Why are y'all complaining?
And I
It
love that
actually-
Anya like asked your like Mama get me this because Papa said no and Lloyd was like
But
I
I
said
said
yes.
yes.
Little
I
kid thing
said
to do.
yes, you didn't want it.
Yeah, at the time. And she's like,
Lloyd's
I
like, "Well, I was
changed my
gonna give
mind.
you
I'm
that."
like,
Anya is like such a gaslighter. Good for her.
no. Anything for that free shit, you know?
Anya's the instigator in the family, and we
She's a
respect
true
that.
gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
She's the runner of the show.
Oh my God.
She's in charge.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I love that. Can we get it? Let's whenever we do merch, we're gonna make that into a t-shirt, Blue.
Yes, like gatekeep girl boss. Waku waku.
Please don't make me choke on tea.
I'm doing my job right then.
Yes. Shit. I felt so bad for Anya. Like, she did it to herself, but my god, that's just the cringe.
Oh yeah, all the lying she was doing, and all the kids were like,
my
you're
God.
a little lying. She's like, yeah, octopus
I
aliens.
feel like
It was so much worse watching it than
It is.
Yeah, it was.
Oh
seeing
no,
it.
Roski disappeared again.
Just keep going.
Okay.
All the kids are laughing at her. And
anyway,
I'm like, girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it
oh,
was
shit.
genuinely funny. I think SK and was it Sid or Tar or somebody was there when we were watching the episode again, and we were like, why are the kids like? Why do they know the Berlin Love cast and crew and shit to be this excited about seeing these actors? I'm like, what? Do y'all just watch soap operas as like 5-year-old children instead of cartoons? What the fuck?
You never,
Well, I
you
guess
never
rich
watched
people?
the
I don't know,
cartoon
rich
because of
kids?
Do they just watch it with their parents or something? Or like, oh yes, it's time for Berlin Love.
Well,
No,
Family
okay.
time.
that you have no idea how normal that is.
Okay, yeah,
If
you're
your
right
children
though.
watch on screen.
Yeah, Mexican families just we do that. Just
My
fucking-
mom-
I
did
guess that's
play
true.
Days of
Korean
Our
families are
Lives.
also really like that. They
Yeah, we
really
just
like
love
their own
drama.
dramas. They do.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah, like cheese me.
But like, it's a 5-year-old kid. It's not really appropriate for them.
Yeah.
With like all these ex-lovers and like scandals and cheating or whatever the fuck else is
I
going
know.
on.
I like everyone acts like Anya's weird for liking Bomb Man, but literally everyone in Ostania is just watching Berlin in Love. It's like even Dominic. I mean, we talk about it in the fucking manga today, but he's like,
yeah,
oh,
that's right. It's
that
like,
dude's
he's
a hunk.
I couldn't compete with him. Dominic is like bi for real.
hashtag
Good for him.
By straw.
Good
Good
for
for
him.
him.
King.
Good
Love
for
wins.
him. Yeah, he's a cat.
Good for him. Camilla
Yeah.
better hold on to her man before he like leaves her for the
Someone
actor,
better.
Kevin or whatever his name was.
For Kevin.
I don't know. I forgot his name already.
I don't know.
Ugh.
Let me see. What else are we missing from the anime? I'm like, I don't have it pulled up. I'm like,
I was thinking about how much people are probably gonna be super disappointed. We're like, oh no, you didn't wear a bikini. She wore a sensible
Listen,
one piece.
I
Swimsuit.
respect Endo.
Endo did
great
like
No,
Like
major
that,
respect. I just think it's so funny to imagine all the Yor Sims like dying because like
Listen.
we didn't get her bikini Yor. This
I-
anime's bullshit.
At some point, I need it, Blue. I need to see it.
As somebody
I'm
who doesn't
sure
like
it'll
to wear
happen,
2
just
pieces.
not today.
I
Yeah.
know.
We'll get a random Spike's Family Beach episode, and it'll be like Lloyd's got to go diving because there's a fucking submarine with a missile. He has to descend.
I don't know.
Like Dave the diver, Lloyd
I
the
don't know.
diver.
Lloyd the Diver. Can we not, Blue? Can we not start making just fucking slash fix in our podcast? That'd be great.
I have to say though, Surfer Lloyd, I kind of fucking loved Surfer Lloyd.
I
It was
love
pretty
I was
Surfer
cool.
looking
Lloyd,
forward to
yeah.
that so
I'm like a
much.
legit fan of Surfer Lloyd.
Yeah.
So
I love
I'm
how
happy.
bored
Kind of
he
hot,
was.
not gonna lie.
he was pretty hot this episode.
I love how bored he was scuba diving. He was just like, that's
Yeah.
a fish.
Like, that's a
Yep,
turtle.
Just
shark.
staring over at his girls like no
So
big deal.
I love how Anya was like, oh, they are so pretty, and Yor was like, yeah, they look delicious.
Hell
Oh yeah, that was really funny. I mean, that's sensible of Yor. You know, she sees wildlife. She's like, I wonder if I can eat this because technically that's how
Literally,
she grew
though.
up.
I was just gonna say I really liked how they did because remember in the chapter itself, like where Yor and Yuri and Lloyd are just like thinking
yeah.
all of their thoughts.
Yeah.
I was wondering how that was gonna like translate to the anime because it's not like there was a lot of like talking.
Uh-huh.
It was just like all in their heads. But I think they did a really good job with that. And it
Oh
was
yeah.
their faces still
Mhm.
iconic.
I love how like Lloyd's like thinking all this stuff and then he's like, no, and then like simplifies it for a kid, and then in Yuri's head he's like, liars are trash, and then he just tells Anya, yeah, liars are trash.
Oh yeah, I love their faces. Like Lloyd's face is super serious when he's thinking about it, but it's like, oh, yeah, no, lying is bad. And Yuri's just like, yeah, liars are all scum, and you know, justice. And then you see his normal scowly face, like, yeah, liars are still scum.
The fact that Anya just knows that everybody in the room are liars.
Is a damn
Just the
liar.
irony
Yeah.
of that is so
I
funny.
mean,
Yeah.
Like
Anya had her
hypocrites.
work cut out for her, but
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just love how Yuri's face didn't change.
Yeah.
Between
Yeah, I mean
like
he's a very what is
He's
it?
very open about
Yeah,
his
he's very
feelings.
open. Like he wears like his emotions on his sleeve. So
no,
Right.
yeah, but I just find funny how just Twilight has this Twilight mode face, and then he has the goofy face when he's in reality.
Yeah.
I
And the fucking idiot in
love
both.
it so much. I love when Lloyd's face is just like, oh yeah, and like they're like kind of goofy. They're rounder. They're like little
Yeah.
dot eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, the preview fucking killed me for
Same, I
next
wasn't
episode
expecting
because
that.
it's supposed
It's
to be the
gonna be
Becky
cringe, but it's
chapter
gonna
when
be-
she comes over,
Guys,
and you just
I'm-
see Lloyd's
that-
dot eyes.
That might be my first skip episode. I don't think I can watch it. I
I'll
don't
watch
think
it.
I can
I'll watch it
without
twice
that.
for the both of us, Pines.
Thank
I
you.
Love
gonna
that.
watch
I
it.
love that chapter.
I'm looking forward to be able to discuss that chapter again.
I can't
Yes.
handle the secondhand cringe. Like
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
good.
know how
I love
That's
it.
so funny,
Personally,
though.
I love how fucking
love
like
it.
embarrassing this is gonna be. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be laughing so
Little
hard.
girls are embarrassing. Little kids are embarrassing. Like that's just
They
how it
really
is, like-
are.
You're gonna
Because-
miss
it's
your
because
being
I'm an
hit by a
empath.
car.
Becky really doesn't know any better, and it's like this is
Oh.
just really silly and cute in its own
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
'Cause, she's just a
It-
little
it's
girl.
gonna
That's
be,
all.
yeah. It's gonna be a handful, but I actually had a very kind of related and related question. We saw Fiona in that preview.
we did.
Oh
Is that
right.
Fionki? I think
Is
it's
that
Fionki.
going-
Yeah, I was
Maybe-
thinking maybe
maybe
it's
they're
the
doing, like, a
Fionki
split-
chapter.
Episode.
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean, I do not think,
Yeah.
as funny as it is, that you can carry an entire episode on Becky Cringe. So
Yeah, I'm
They had to
assuming
add
it's
something
gonna
else.
be that.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'm thinking
probably.
it's an anime original thing because I'm like, are they going to be able to?
Ooh.
Oh.
Be
Okay.
able to put.
Okay,
that,
wait.
That could be
I
cool.
don't know,
That's
it's
an
a pretty
original
quick
thing for
chapter.
Fiona.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
gonna be that's gonna be something.
I just
We
I
just see
want
a
the dog
life, the day in the
episode
life
so
of
bad.
Fiona,
Yeah.
and she's just like staring at pictures of Lloyd, doing her missions.
More pictures of Lloyd.
Oh.
More pictures of Lloyd, binoculars, making sure everything looks good through the living room balcony.
Fall
I'm
asleep
just
to a picture
sad that
of
we're not
Lloyd.
getting the Lloyd and Bond.
Oh, the
chapters.
arson thing.
That might be the
Yeah.
end.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, they
I was
might-
wondering how they were going to end the series because
That's the only
there's so
exciting
much you
thing
can
that
choose.
happens after the
Yeah.
boat arc. So I feel like that would be it.
Yeah, they're probably gonna have it bookend the series.
Yeah.
You know, they started with
Mm.
Bond, they end with Bond. So
Also, before we move on, I did want to talk about, because we're talking about faces. I love Damien's face during the Anya cringe. I just I love it to death because everyone's talking shit and Damien's just sitting there like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. She's stupid, but I love her.
Real.
how the fuck to give?
He can't even be bothered. Like, man, where did she come up with this like stuff? Octopus aliens? What the hell?
I just appreciate how he doesn't like join in the bullying with her.
He doesn't
though.
even care enough to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
no. I think he's like, it's a given. She's going to be lying about how exciting her cruise
Yeah.
vacation is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I was
like,
like,
that's
yeah,
okay.
it's
I just love
just-
he's listening
she
the whole
can't tell
time.
you.
Like, if he had popcorn, he'd be eating it right there. Like, I respect
Yeah,
that.
he looked really cute in that scene. Just like annoyed or maybe just like meh about the whole thing.
Like he
It's
he
a
was
Tuesday.
out of fuck
I
to
love
give.
It's a Tuesday.
The little cut with the cut with George too.
Uh-huh.
Oh god. Oh yeah, don't
Stay
lie too
gloomy,
much or
gloomy.
you'll have no friends like me.
Poor guy. I forget he exists until
It's
he
for the
pops
best.
up.
It's for the best.
He probably
yeah.
prefers it that way.
Yeah.
Better
Yeah,
to not
he's
have
just
any
there to
attention on
be-
him than negative attention.
Mhm.
To be a punchline too.
Right. Poor George.
Okay,
Okay.
so
We need to move on. And you know what? Okay, I'm debating when to put this order. Okay, so we're talking about chapter 91. I want to go back real quick to chapter 90.1. Somebody, let me see if I can pull it up right now. I have it pulled up. I just need to find it. Okay. So we were discussing Anya's name. Obviously, if you hadn't read the episode, we're talking about how Anya's name really is, if it's Ania or Naya, or Nya, whatever. You know what I mean. But one of our commenters, Afu.
oh
to
yeah,
you,
I saw it.
yes, it's such a good theory. So I'm just gonna read it word for word. This person says, in laboratory experiment labeling, we usually get the first two letters of the activity and then the number. 1A means the first subject with the first condition. 1B means first subject with the second
Ooh.
condition. 2A means second subject with first condition. 7A means seventh subject, blah, 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 blah. It says AN is the project name and I is supposed to be the number. Thus, ANIA is AN1A or AN7A if it's Anya.
Oh.
So maybe
Yeah,
that's not
clever.
really maybe that's not really a name. Maybe it's a code, like, or like a experiment label.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
that's
it's
really that's a good theory.
Yeah, I had to bring it up. I know we already talked like 30 minutes about it last episode, but I really wanted to get y'all's opinion on that before we move on.
no, yeah, it's a
Okay, I like that. I think
it's a good.
that would just be subtle enough to be like a pretty interesting reveal of like, oh my god, her name is like an acronym as a test subject kind of
Mhm.
thing, like a code name that they were like, oh, we can use this as a name and then as a code name thing.
Right.
Oh god,
The
ooh, I
naval
like that.
possibility.
I like
So
it
like
too.
she was never named at all. It's just
Well,
Yeah.
sad. That's kind of
Well,
sad.
I mean,
to
it
think
kind of
about.
was her name, but like it
Yeah.
wasn't just like a name. It was also like, oh, this works as like a name, and then also like an experimentation label
Yeah.
kind of thing. So we know exactly what's going on. Or like, oh, this child has this thing,
Mhm.
so they can memorize
yeah,
it that way instead of like,
so-
oh, this is a person. This is
Oh,
an actual
yeah.
human being.
But again,
scientists
that
did
would
call her
imply that
Anya.
there may
Mhm.
be other test subjects with the same abilities as Anya.
Right.
Do it.
So that's interesting too. Like, if I wonder if the same thing applied to Bond. Like, what would that be?
If there
You know
was
what I mean?
other dogs with precognition
Mhm.
out there.
Oh, Crow.
Yeah.
You wrote to yourself, don't forget to talk about the Raffaron trailer details.
Yes.
Next episode, dumbass.
Yes, I did.
I'm just reading what you said.
Stupid
I'm not
crow.
calling you a dumbass.
No, you know what? If you did, that would be fine. Okay, yes, I did want to bring that up before we move on to more Code White news. I know Roski, you would wanted to talk about it. But before we get into the new stuff, I again need to go back to a previous episode when we were talking about R.A. Farron was the maker, or they did the subtitles for the trailer.
Yep.
And they had actually pointed out some extra information that I said we were going to talk about, and I'm stupid, so I completely forgot about it. So I'm going to make sure that we talk about it this time. But okay, so again, I'm going to read word for word.
Okay.
To answer some of the questions you guys had from the movie villains, from what I gathered from the interviews and the news, they're a different military faction altogether, but not too sure on the details. The big robot-looking guy is named Type F, and will be interacting with Yor a bunch. So there's going to be a lot of cool fight scenes, probably. The goons, the guys, we were talking about the ones that pick up Anya and like Bonds there. Their names are Luca and Dimitri. Dimitri is the guy with the dowsing rods, and he has an affinity for fortune telling. So I'm guessing that's where the dowsing rods come from.
Nerd,
which is fucking hilarious, because that goes back to what we were talking about. It's like, what if this guy just like pulls out dowsing rods and he's like, look, I'm gonna find the kid with it.
No,
And the guy's
literally.
like,
You're right. Yeah, this Dimitri is a loser.
I mean, they both are. They are they're clearly the comedic beat of the villains.
They don't look very intimidating.
Right.
No, they don't.
That's probably why they have the Type F robot.
Right. So, okay, all right, knowing that they're a separate military faction, so they're probably not reporting to the government on this. They're on their own. I wonder if Yuri is going to get involved and is like, yeah, they're like, yo, we need the SSS to put the kibosh on this. And so,
I was actually kind of wondering if it being called Type F is in any way related to Frankie, since he is a mechanical. I'm not saying he maybe necessarily built the entire thing, but maybe he either had to work on some part of it or designed it. Maybe. I mean,
that'd be fucking hilarious.
Funny, but...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that would be funny.
Like the one thing that actually works, and it ends up, like this almost killing death robot. Almost kills his buddy's wife. Like, oh shit.
I mean, a more darker turn to that would be like if he was forced to when he was in the military. but
I
I don't know. I don't know if that happened. That's just a
No,
guess.
I think
Probably
F is gonna be in the stand-in for something else, because for some reason F is very common as some sort of dramatic, dangerous, evil letter in
Oh,
the fiction.
Really?
you think
I
it's
don't know
because they're like,
exactly why, but F is
It's
a
for
very
F is-
failure.
yeah, F is
Oh.
like the worst grade you can get as
F
a
is for
American
fuck
student,
you,
so maybe we'll
I'm
use
the
that
bad
letter.
guy. Yeah.
No, yeah, but actually, for instance, there's an upcoming game called Silent Hill F. I don't know why. Why
Demons.
Silent
the
Hill,
with that
fuck!
fucking letter?
Ghosts. God, Silent Hill. Fuck.
It's type fuck. That's what the F
Type
stands for.
fuck. Oh god. All right, so okay, you guys said that there was a bunch of new trailer stuff that has been dropping in the past like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are like
Where's-
5 of them.
5 of them.
There's like so many like minor
they
ones.
rapid fire that shit. There
Yeah,
was a lot.
pretty much.
Can
There
y'all
was a
link
lot
the
of
one
that
where
in the
yours
last
about to
day.
do Lloyd?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. Let
Okay.
me pull it up.
Yeah.
I
That's the
can
only one
call
I'm
that, like,
interested
5
in.
very
Yeah, and you're
Real-
valid for
There's
that.
also
You're real
one where
for
it shoes
that.
more of yours fight with Type F or whatever.
Ooh,
his
yeah.
name is. Which is
We
very
actually
slaying.
get to see a little of Type F without the coat, which is kind of
Yeah.
anticlimactic. You would expect that to be reserved
No.
for the movie, but
Yeah.
we already saw how he looks without the coat.
He kind of had like a nemesis thing going on, or like a Mr. X. That would have been cool if he just like kept it on.
It looks more like the Winter Soldier or something like that, because I don't know.
Well, with the coat is what I'm saying.
Oh no, yeah.
Like got like a
With the
mystery
coat,
to
but
it.
Now that we saw Type F without the coat, I don't know. I just think it's one of those curses about modern movie making. Well, more like movie making, like movie culture, that you get spoiled on very important things before release because they had to quote unquote hype it up. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to see Type F in the movie. Why are you revealing me Type F before?
See, and that's why I'm not looking at anything except for this spot of Yor and Lloyd because I am putting this shit on repeat.
Yeah.
And it's
I
fucking
get a
hilarious.
little embarrassed looking at it.
I don't know, because I find it's fucking hilarious because like, okay, yeah, that part is hot, but at the same time, like I'm looking at the part with like Anya freaking out, and I can't help but think in my head, and she's like, "Oh no, mom and dad are fighting," and then it's like, "No, mom and dad are doing grown up things."
That's why I'm embarrassed. I keep looking at her face, looking down at him, and I'm like, oh my god.
He just looks.
I'm gonna
He looks so
bust.
stupid.
Mom's beating up daddy.
looks
No,
so
she's
stupid.
not.
Oh shit!
I mean,
It's time for little kids to go to bed.
She's submitting him.
Well, that's definitely not the case. They're like outside, so she clearly just like, I don't know, knocked into him, and then she freaked out and like fucking kicked him again.
Well, okay, yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I just find
he
it
does
funny.
Like a judo throw
No,
on
it is
him.
really funny, and it's
Yeah.
also really hot, and like that's the
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Like, thank you God for like, I'm like, okay, the team for Code White, they've absolved their sins for that stupid Fiona and Lloyd a fake kiss
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
That
for
was
them.
the point of the Lord and Fiona thing, to let shit like this happen.
Well, God bless them. God
get
bless
your,
them all.
To want to make out with her husband, hell yeah,
Hell yeah. We
hell
love it.
yeah.
I approve.
just-
Roski, you're still not in Discord.
I should be in Discord. Like, huh?
You're not.
Okay, let me see.
That's
let me
okay.
see,
You
let me
work on
see.
that. We're gonna move on to the chapter, which is the big stuff,
Yeah.
and we're already 45 minutes in, and we haven't even talked about it
Shit.
yet. Yeah.
There was too
Bada bing,
much.
bada boom.
There's a lot going
Bada
on.
boom. All
There's a
right,
lot
chapter
about that.
90. We got
91.
trauma.
91.
91.
91.
Yeah.
Real trauma.
Trauma. Yeah.
Trauma.
Yay!
Yep.
That was
Wartime
actually...
trauma. Woo!
Oh,
Um,
God. Disabled veterans.
disabled. Oh God, I can't even
God.
say. It. We're not even monetized. We'll get demonetized.
Shit. Just
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Before
already
we
not
even
monetized.
like, yeah, that's true. Before we even like, get into the content of the chapter, this was such like a very text-heavy chapter. Like you have to read. This was a reading
Yeah,
chapter.
it
It
was.
took, it took me a good like.
This was a. I'm okay. It's not trying to be backhanded, but it's almost an out of character chapter for the series.
It was. Yeah. I'll agree
In
with
that,
that.
It was,
that there
yeah.
was just like a little of a small gag about your strength, and that joke at the very, very, very end. But overall, the chapter was fundamentally a drama
Yeah.
series for the entire chapter. It got heavy.
I
I
found it
like it.
funny that yeah, I found it funny
But
that because usually whenever, and this is one of the first like weekends I've been on where like I can actually like, because when the chapter drops we're all on Discord and we're just like talking about it as we're reading. Nobody was talking about it as they were reading because they were just like, it took like 10 minutes to read this whole chapter. Like, it was so
We
Literally,
were
yeah.
dense.
reading.
It, like you said, it was out of character and unexpected because we were assuming something with Anya after the short mission, but this was, well, it was double unexpected because we got back a little backstory on Millie, of all people.
all characters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who could have saw that coming?
I know.
I
I mean,
mean,
none of
everyone's
us.
got some hidden complexities to them. Is all
no,
I'm
yeah,
learning.
I
Yeah.
know, but it's one of those cases with it's a pleasant surprise.
Let's go through the chapter because there is a panel that I think Endo did really well.
Sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
let's go ahead, start
Let's-
just from the beginning.
Yeah, before we start like jumping around.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so the Othens, we get a little intro with them. Anya's there, getting ready for school. Yours dropping her off at the bus stop. We see the Othens again. Grandpa what'd you call him? Grandpa Siggy,
Siggy.
and Grandma Barbs, I think is what she called him.
Mm-hmm.
Yor goes to, I don't know what they call it. They call it a bazaar. It's a flea market. Like where I'm from, it's called a flea market. But
Right. Charity bazaar. Yeah.
they're doing a charity for disabled veterans. And the city hall workers are all there, including Dominic, who
He's
like
City Hall.
yeah, he does work at City Hall. It's just like whenever you talk about them, it's mainly just like the girls that we're talking about, like Camilla.
Oh
and them.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
McMahon's there too. I
Right.
was
So it must be
surprised.
like a whole department of them volunteering,
But-
or or maybe I don't know.
I find it, well, it's interesting now that McMahon is just like in the picture now, because like he wasn't before the boat arc, and now he's just like, oh yep, that's McMahon. He's working City Hall.
He's always
So
been there.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then let me
Good old
see.
McMahon.
So okay, we got some expanded world building on like the Lady Patriot Society that Melinda is part of.
Right. And all those Karens.
Got fucking boomer Karens.
You
The character
literally,
designs,
oh my
though.
god, they look all
Wait,
so mean.
we got those rumors about Melinda, how she's like a Satanist.
Oh
Right.
yeah, they really demonized her. Or at least like that's what Camilla mentions. Like I
Mhm.
guess they really demonized the Desmond family, if anything.
I don't know. I don't, and see, that's the thing too. I don't know
Well,
if
it seems like people either are either admire them or fear them.
right.
Yeah.
That's so interesting too. I think like the upper class love the Desmonds, whereas the lower
Yeah.
class don't.
Don't.
Right.
Because they probably
is-
see him
yeah.
as being like with Millie here. They probably see him as being responsible for the war, at least partially.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it came down to. But okay, so just so we stay on topic, I guess, with the
Mhm.
story here. So we have Melly. She's like I don't know. She's like not really into it. She doesn't really want to be here. And they
Mhm.
mentioned like, yeah, you know, this is
upset.
like the furthest she's ever really come. I guess like last year she like cried and didn't even attend the veterans charity
Yeah.
bazaar.
Right.
So
upset.
clearly, obviously, she's still very much affected by what happened to her dad when she was a kid. And, you know, the reminder, I guess, of seeing veterans, it just reminds her of what she doesn't have anymore, which is very sad, understandably.
Yeah.
And I love the little joke where yours like, oh yeah, I know Melinda, and Camilla and Sharon like, you're lying. There's like no way you know her,
Right.
which I love.
Yeah. It's just full of surprises.
I mean, I think it tracks because what would you do if like your random coworker said like they knew Michelle Obama?
Literally.
Okay,
Like,
this-
yeah,
You would
I
call
hang
them a
out with
fucking
her.
liar.
It's like, no way you don't.
This literally
Yeah,
kind of
like-
happened to me, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna stay on track, or at least try to. But okay, yeah. So as Blue is talking about, which we'll find out in a little bit later down the chapter, Millie's father died in the war, and you know that's the reason why she's unable to make the event. And of course, as we're about to learn that, the Lady Patriot Society, who I guess is like kind of like in charge of it, or at the very least they act like they're in charge of it, which tracks. But yeah, they're basically like, y'all are fucking lazy, like you need to get to work because these veterans deserve better than what you're giving them, basically. And then
Right, just like shaming them for not
Yeah.
killing themselves trying to get this event put together.
Right, I'm like, woman, you're not doing anything. Like, what the
I know,
fuck?
and they're like, oh yeah, all these young kids, they
don't wanna work anymore.
one of them says like, young people, huh?
No, don't worry about it.
Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
I literally didn't even hear anything because I was trying to
That's funny.
read.
No,
something
it's
here.
it's just boomer bullshit, you know.
Boomer
Yeah.
bullshit,
Yeah.
exactly.
And like
It-
they're
it-
saying
it's-
like, yeah, young people, they enjoy peace, but they don't have any concept of its cost. Like they,
all
just
the
talking
cons, blah,
down
blah,
to
blah,
them.
blah.
saying,
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
Right.
you
like,
don't understand how
shut
hard it
up.
was.
It's one of those
Yeah.
cases of I don't know if I should bring it up because it reminds me of I'll fuck it just in passing, but it reminds me of a scene in Mouse. There's a scene in Mouse where the father, who is an Holocaust survivor, is being a dick to some black person that is out of his own car that is trying to help them, and he starts talking shit, racist shit, and his own daughter-in-law is like, how can you do that? How of all people, you who suffered this, and the guy is completely dismissive about the woman being reasonably upset that he's being a complete asshole. People that experience loss often resent those that haven't experienced that loss.
And we see that too with your, and I love this, and y'all had talked about it more than I did. I kind of like was I was glancing at the conversations later on, but everyone was really talking about the fact that like you're really showcased like her emotional growth and just like
Yeah.
her putting herself out there to defend Millie. And it's kind of like it kind of contextualizes what Roski's saying of just like, hey, like, you guys suffered. Like, the people who died suffered, obviously. Like, you suffered. We also suffered. Like, you suffered in the ways that only adults could suffer, and like we suffered in the way that only kids could suffer. So it's like not one is worse or better than the other, you know what I mean? So like, shut up. Like, basically,
Right,
like
yeah.
and
Like it really shouldn't be compared. Like comparing your pain doesn't help anyone because there's really no. There shouldn't be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna shame you because you didn't suffer as hard as I suffered. Like
It's
it
not
should
a
just be more
competition. It's like
compassionate.
it's
Like,
not a
oh yeah,
competition.
we suffered. We both suffered together.
Mhm.
Basically,
It's like
Yeah.
the entire point should be to try to minimize suffering. You know, if you
yeah,
suffer
with like
something horrible,
understanding
you
and
should
compassion.
try to strive to see the new generation does not suffer what you suffered, instead of thinking that it gives you some form of moral superiority through guilt.
I think also your brings up like a good point too, with like the scene with the boxes, which is like surprisingly like a very good analogy about how like everyone's like different in how they process things and how they work through things. And so when she was like holding the 10 boxes, the lady was like, well, there's no way I can hold 10 boxes. And so then Yor was like, well, then why do you think Millie's like the same as you?
Right.
If you're saying you can't do that.
You're like, I could do it. Why do you mean you can't? Like,
And I think it's very like, it's like, I think Yor has always been this kind of person, but I think pre-Forger family, I don't know if she would have actually like said anything.
No.
Right.
No.
Oh, I feel the
I
same.
kinda-
Yeah.
I would say that I think Yor would probably hang back or feel like, oh, I don't know how to express this in the right way,
Mhm.
so I shouldn't say anything about it. Because I feel like Yor has. She used to kind of suffer, I think, a little bit of like being able to speak her mind in a more clear way almost. I think she'd get too nervous about like, oh, what if it comes off wrong, or what if I don't know what I'm really talking about. I feel like maybe with the family she's gained a bit more confidence to be a bit more outspoken about how she feels or what she feels like is wrong or right, and defend people who need it. So yeah, I would definitely say that I think being with the family has helped her gain some of that confidence back.
Right.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to these like social situations that, you know, in the past you probably wouldn't really understand, maybe 100% of like, oh, why are they so upset with Millie, or, you know, I don't understand like why it has to be such a big deal like that. But yeah, I kind of feel like, yeah, I think yours just learned a lot of more about her own like emotional intelligence,
Right.
and like
She's
how
more
to,
assertive with like.
yeah, and like how to be compassionate, more compassionate than even maybe she was before the Forger family.
Right. And you know, I love that part. I also like. Okay, so that part happens obviously, and of course the old lady's being a bitch, and like so she goes in to hit Yor, which I'm already like, okay, I can't wait to see this.
This is a bad
And then
idea.
but then Melinda stops her. Melinda shows up out of nowhere and is like, "You're fucking embarrassing yourself. Stop it." And then we do have this cute moment where Melinda and Yor are just like, "Oh my god, it's you!" And she's like, "Oh my god, it's you!" And then like, yeah, and then like Camilla's like, "Holy fuck, she knows
Holy
Melinda
shit!
Desmond."
She,
Like,
she was she was speaking the truth. Like, oh my god.
right. But then you know, Millie does not take that well that Yor knows Melinda, because she blames the Desmonds for starting the war and taking her dad away from her and all of that. Which I am super fascinated by. McMahon interjects and is like, actually, he didn't start the war. The previous chairman did.
Right.
And then afterwards, Desmond came in and like finished the war, basically. So he's like,
which
not
is really
responsible.
interesting to hear that Desmond he wasn't responsible for the war happening in the first place.
Right.
Which shocked me. I thought for sure he was the entire reason for it or something.
I'm not.
No.
I don't know. I don't know if it was mentioned before. If he was
No.
Like,
the first.
well, we knew
one.
that he was, or I think we kind of assumed he was PM probably around the war or something and lost power
Right.
afterwards, but we didn't know how long it was, because, I mean, to be fair, I don't exactly know how long a PM is allowed to be in office for.
However
depends
much
on the
Endo
country.
decides.
I think it's
Country, and
yeah.
this is a
It's
fictional
in this
country,
case,
so-
it's like whoever cares. Yeah.
I don't know, and that kind of brings up the question. This chapter kind of brings up that question a little bit, because Melinda's like, yes, my husband didn't start the war, but he's still to blame. So like, what does Melinda know about that? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on with the Desmonds? Which is like the big question we've been asking for like
I
38
know,
years.
yeah. All we keep getting
again.
is, I mean, I love all the Melinda lore, but I'm like, when are we gonna get freaking another Donovan, like, glance or jump
50
scare or something?
chapters.
I don't even think we need to like.
50
Okay, we don't need to look at his face again. But I think we've gotten like quite a bit of like lore about him,
Right.
because it's like later on, not to jump ahead, but I'm jumping ahead, but at the end of the chapter, Dominic says like, oh, she's like nothing at like her husband at all. So like, to the like working class, like the Dominics and the Camillas and the Millies, what is their impression of Donovan? To them, Donovan must have like a really bad, must be like a really
he
bad
must be an
figure.
Iron Fist kind of governor.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It
But-
looks like that because
But like,
Go ahead, Bonds.
but I was gonna say, but like when Damien is at school and he like talks about his dad, everyone thinks his dad is super duper cool, and they're all like the super rich people kids.
yeah,
of
it's
Ostania.
Who probably didn't have to go to war. Like, their parents probably didn't have to go. Like, it was the
it's-
lower
it's-
class that went.
it's one
Yeah.
of
They're
those.
the ones who suffered.
This is gonna seem really stupid, but Winston Churchill, while he was a very pleasant public speaker, when you see his military tactics, he was pretty fucking brutal. So I do think that. Wait.
But that
Wait.
doesn't because inside Ostania people don't like Desmond. So like,
No, but
Yeah, I think it's also like, yeah, I guess like I like with the Winston Churchill, it's like, you know, like within Europe he's like cool and everyone likes him, but everyone else around the world hates him. But like within Ostania, it's like very obvious that like
there's people that fear him.
only like the upper class like him
Right.
or respect him, admire him. And it seems like a lot of the Dominics, Camillas don't like him, think he's the reason for the war, just have a very negative perception of him.
yeah.
No, but okay. I was thinking of Churchill specifically because of the two-sided face of the religion. But Okay, probably there's a more appropriate analogy, historical
I
speaking.
I I want to know why though. I want to like obviously Desmond favors the upper class, but
Of course.
I
Because-
want to know if he. Uh, I don't want to turn this into another conspiracy thing, but I wonder if he's the one who put them
Oh.
into power in the first place, and that's why they love him so
Mm.
much. Like, it seems
Um,
like before
it
the
tracks.
war, at least like from my perspective, from what I'm gathering from this, is like Ostania was a different place before, and after the war, it's much more stratified with like there's a very distinct upper class and a very distinct lower class. And I kind of get the impression it wasn't like that before, but after Desmond, or at least after the war, it's like that now.
I don't know. They had royalty before, so
They
I
did have
mean,
royalty before, but I don't know.
all we know
uh,
about the Desmonds, like family wise, is that they have like a family crest, which hints to like they have a very long kind of lineage or ancestry,
Right.
probably. And like from the one time we've seen Donovan, clearly he's not very keen on other people, so kind of gives you the impression that maybe he's more interested in kind of using them. But it
He's very
like after
lofty.
the thing with the Gluman Pharmaceuticals company, after the Desmond family or group bought that company, and Mr. Gluman said like, oh yeah, Donovan was very pleasant or sympathetic. It's like it seems like he is interested in using people, but he still wants them to have a good impression of him because maybe it's
oh
like it's easier
yeah.
to manipulate people like
I don't
that.
know.
I don't know about that.
It just came
Well, on
up.
some level, I mean, if Gluman seems to think that Desmond was a decent man,
I thought of a better analog, a very present in my historical analog to Desmond, probably. Okay, many of you probably don't know shit about the history of Mexico, but here it goes. Ever heard about Porfirio Diaz? For industrialists, entrepreneurs, and the high economic class, he's actually very fondly remembered because he caused an industrial revolution in Mexico that made it a world power back in the early 20th century. But the working class absolutely despises his guts because of the social inequality he caused.
Uh,
But
as far as like the chapter goes, I just really I do want to focus more on like Melinda and like
oh,
yours
Melinda.
relationship with Melinda,
Oh,
and
yeah.
as far as
I-
like what are your opinions on these two? And
She's dangerous.
Well, everyone was
she's
freaking
dangerous,
out and
yeah.
being like, "Oh my god, Melinda's here!" Like SK was freaking out a lot, like, "Oh my god, Melinda! I got Melinda."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
she-
she say Melinda though?
No. Yes, me and SK literally an hour before the chapter were like, this is Melinda. Trust. She is coming.
She's coming.
Yeah.
She's coming
I was
all
hoping
fast.
she would appear in this chapter, so I'm very
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah,
that
me
she
too.
did.
Especially when they were like, "Oh, Lady Patriots!" Like, "Oh, that's Melinda's crew."
That's not
Yeah.
Melinda. But
But
Yeah.
I think I think the most important takeaway is that well, the most important takeaway is the reinforcement that there's some form of self hatred and self
Guilt.
yeah,
She feels guilty.
she feels
well,
guilty.
I
She
don't
feels
know.
there's
See, I don't quite trust her.
Yeah.
I
And
Oh,
that when
heavily.
she said all this stuff,
Oh,
that
no
she's
way.
genuine about it.
Go
Because
off.
we saw what the inside of her brain looked like.
She hates her
Yeah, we
husband. The
Yeah,
fact
she's
that she was
kind of
talking.
crazy.
Yeah.
no, but the thing
yet
is
she also
these
hates
are
her
these are not contradictory statements.
I don't know. I don't think.
Interesting.
I don't know,
There's just
but
so
the
much.
thing
There's
is-
just so much
the
we
thing
don't
is-
know.
Yeah, because I don't see it. I don't think it's altruistic like that. I don't think.
I don't know if she's altruistic. It doesn't have to be a form of altruism because
But it
The
doesn't.
thing
I don't
is-
think it
the
tracks
thing
for
with-
her personality though. I don't think she's unhinged. Like she is straight unhinged. Like just like her husband. I'm assuming. And like
no, but that's why I used B as an example. B thinks he's doing the right thing, but at the end of the day, B is a terrorist.
but I don't think she thinks it's the right thing for everybody. And see this is the
Uh,
thing. We
you
don't
just have to-
know
but
what her plan
neither
is.
do
We
we.
don't know what she's.
That-
we don't. We're just assuming that she's gonna like she's out to get Donovan, or like she's gonna like, because Donovan isn't even in power. He's just a guy now. Like, yes, he's a very powerful guy, but he's not in charge of the government.
She still
And
holds
so, like-
a very important political party, so she's
Okay, but yeah, like-
she may not be the top dog anymore, but she clearly has enough influence politically to be a danger to society. So
It's more socially. She doesn't have any political.
Yeah, didn't Lloyd say that he never considered going after Melinda or anything because she doesn't hold much power anymore? So she was like a high risk, low reward kind of target.
Exactly.
I think
She was also hard to get in
I think
contact
he
with, too.
said like she's like known to be estranged from her husband too,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that they like have separate lives.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, that's the thing too. Is like what? I mean, Blue, you said it. She can't be trusted. Like, I don't trust her.
Absolutely not.
With the way her brain
even
works.
if
Like, yeah,
you have
she
been
seems
sincere, she's not.
very sympathetic and like she's like, yeah, as a Desmond, this is my burden to bear, so I will be responsible and apologize for my
Brother.
family's sins at that point.
Right.
But like I don't think it comes from any real, I don't know. I feel like maybe some of it
Doesn't
is a
come from
bit
a good
genuine,
place.
but like not entirely. I feel like
Because
a lot of
it's
it is
not
still
genuine.
She's
She's
got to
gotta
It's
put
a
up a show.
politician's wife's speech.
Yeah.
It's a politician's wife's speech.
No, literally, yeah. She's been
100%.
She's
trained
unhinged, so
to do this, so she knows exactly how to play the part right.
That's what I
will
got from that.
Give
yeah.
her the right, responses, the right
She's a
results
good actress,
that
but
she needs to appear like this, especially in public
Yeah.
too, because she's making like a big display of this kind of.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm being sympathetic. I'm making sure my friend doesn't slap the shit out of someone, which is like that's fucking crazy to begin with.
Yeah.
And
She's putting a
just, like,
spin on it.
yeah,
It's an opportunity. Like, yes, you're
it
right.
is. She's
like,
being very opportunistic about like making a big show of this, and I feel like that's
Eh.
a lot of what the Desmonds do, or like that's the way they see things. Is like this is an
that's the
opportunity.
way they
Yeah.
probably have been taught.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, side note.
Yeah.
Because Crow, you mentioned you want to talk about Melinda and Yor,
Mhm.
but they also mentioned in the chapter that like Melinda Desmond usually doesn't come to these events, and then all of a sudden she's going this year. And guess who also was going this year? Yor.
Motherfucker.
Oh, you think
Oh.
that she like found out or something that Yor was coming and
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
why
If
else?
And
the
then-
city hall workers
No.
go, she's gonna know. Like,
true.
Yeah, and then also she like specifically says like after Millie apologizes, she's like, "Oh, like whatever, all of that," and she's like, "I just didn't want you to like blame Yor for any of this." Guys, this is all very suspicious.
it's all. It's
It
all
Like,
really
I know we're
is.
saying
I
it's
feel like
suspicious,
straight up targeting
but
Yor
this-
right now with like
Yeah.
friendship.
But like leave Yor alone.
I know, for
Hashtag
real.
leave Yor alone.
Leave
Okay?
Yor alone.
Yeah.
And see, and I love you. I love that she said that she's the politician's wife, and she's putting a spin on it. Like, okay, maybe on some tiny level, she's like, "Yo, I can't have this chick going around smacking people with my name attached to the Lady
That's
Patriot
true.
Society."
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's actually the
Okay,
point.
and here's another thing too: is that they've been they had this attitude. I'm assuming for a long time, and apparently. Melinda's never stepped in like that before. Like, she's like, "It ain't my problem." But like now, like you say, all of a sudden, one, she's here for some reason. Two, she's at the right place at the right time. And three, she's going about making this scene when at the very beginning she's like, "Please don't let anyone know I'm here," and she's causing a
Oh.
ruckus.
That's too many coincidences for my liking.
That's like 3 in a row, bro. Like, that's too many. Like,
Guys, put the
Imagine,
tinfoil
like,
hats
Lloyd
on.
just
oh, I'm
Put the
wrapping it up right
tinfoil
now,
on.
Pines.
is she
Imagine,
plotting
like,
something and
Lloyd-
wanting Yor to work for her? I don't know.
No,
Well, imagine like Lloyd
oh,
sees
yeah.
her and he immediately gets like, "Oh, there's like something wrong with this woman." Like he
Right.
like gets the vibe that like I don't trust her
Ooh, I
around
can't
my
wait.
wife.
Guys,
Yeah.
I need that to happen
Yeah.
because I was when I finally bought volume 10,
Uh-huh.
I was rereading it, and Lloyd specifically says if Melinda is bad vibes, he's going to protect Yor from her.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Hell
I
yeah.
was gonna say that.
Okay.
There's
I'm gonna go ahead. Is there anything else we'd like to talk about, guys?
Street Fighter.
What?
Street Fighter.
Oh, Street Fighter the collab.
God damn it. Okay, yeah. Real quick, Yor versus Chun-Li. Yor should have kicked her ass.
I love
No,
it. They look so
actually,
cool
Yor is the
together.
underdog there.
I love their high kicks.
No,
Sick.
Yeah.
Yor all the way, 100%.
No, actually, Yor is the underdog.
No. Your wins.
No,
Unconditionally,
no.
Yor wins.
In terms of favorites, your
Yeah.
wins.
Dude,
In
if
terms of
this
favorites,
isn't a
yeah, but
Street
in-
Fighter podcast, this is a Spy Family podcast. Your wins.
Which is hilarious because they're both SF with their initials there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no. Like I just knew you was like devolve into that.
Like,
I
I'm
think-
sorry, I don't care about Street Fighter, I only care about your.
Right.
Okay?
I was pissed that they didn't
Period.
have Yor in the game. That it's just a costume for Chun-Li. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's bullshit.
No, it's on
It is
brand for Street
bullshit.
Fighter. And they were not gonna get Yor as that.
No,
Yeah, we know,
they-
but
Character.
still.
They don't have guest
it could have
characters.
been like a reskin. You know what I mean? Like it could have been Chun-Li, but you're like, oh, you could look like Yor Forger.
Yeah.
Like not the
No,
costume, but
no,
like
no,
actual Yor Forger in there.
I
feel
don't
like,
I don't
yeah,
think
maybe.
you I don't think you guys have been following Street Fighter for
Dude,
doing
no.
Mortal
I haven't.
Kombat had
Not once in my
Omni-Man.
life.
You can't tell me they can't put Yor in there. Mortal Kombat had Omni-Man.
No,
they
I
had
can.
Homelander.
I can because Mortal Kombat is just aesthetics. Like as a functional
That's what I'm
fighting game,
saying.
Mortal Kombat is kind of crap, and they just leave from the guest characters. Like more like Street Fighter has a consistent roster and does not do guest characters at all. They do not need guest characters. If they
Well, maybe
had
they
guest
should
characters,
start, god damn it.
Yeah, because I got bored. I stopped playing, so they should have Yor in there.
If they added Yor and then had, like, I guess Ryuk is Lloyd in a Lloyd
Yeah.
suit, that'd be really fun, actually.
Can we get Yor in Mortal? Can we get Lloyd in Mortal Kombat? Because they have guns in Mortal Kombat, so I want to
Oh.
see that shit.
yeah,
Love
but
that.
you will have
Get him
to
as Lloyd
reach
Man
these-
in the
Yeah.
fucking ball, like the shooter.
Yeah,
ball,
and
ball
then
gun.
we can have Anya and Blaze Blue, and the whole trio will be complete. I just want more crazy shit. Like I remember because I love Monster Hunter. I remember Monster Hunter did a collab with Solid Snake, and it was like Solid Snake going back in time and fighting a T-Rex, but the T-Rex was a Rathalos, and he had like a rocket launcher and shit like that. I want
but
crazy
that's
shit like that.
But that's Metal Gear. Like it's on brand for the kind of bullshit that is Metal Gear.
I know. I'm not talking about Street Fighter. I'm just talking in general. I want more collabs. I want more fun stuff. Because I don't know.
Yeah,
Like at
I
this point, because
mean-
I love what Mortal Kombat did. I love, at this
but-
point,
yeah,
I don't
but-
even
but
love
Mortal,
Mortal.
but Mortal Kombat is, like you said, Mortal Kombat is a little less esports oriented.
I know.
you-
I'm just saying in general, but
It's it makes sense that they didn't get there. Like, of course, they're gonna make your look as good by fighting Chun-Li on equal terms. Even
Yeah.
though the Street Fighter universe is a little too crazy for that.
yeah,
Uh,
I'm just glad we got the trailer and it was fun, and I do enjoy it.
I mean,
The
do like
animation was really good for the
representation.
trailer.
It was really good.
It was WIT, so they are getting the big deals while Cloverworks is stuck with the anime, which is kind of funny. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're not gonna animate the episode this week. You're gonna animate these two fighting.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah.
I totally just stapled my finger, so that's cool.
What?
Sorry, Sorry about it. Sorry.
Very nice.
Stapler.
I need a band-aid.
Oh, no!
Yeah, okay. We're gonna wrap it up here so
Yep.
Crow can go wash his wounds. Damn, I'm bleeding. Okay.
Oh my god, okay.
Bro.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, yeah, don't do what I do, kids. Stay in school.
Dear God.
All right. Well, awesome chapter, awesome episode. Thank you, all of our commenters, for adding that information. Love to see it. Please correct us whenever we're wrong. Tell us any information you might know. We'll talk about it in the podcast. I promise we'll get to it. I'm just slow and I forget things, so we will definitely talk about it. But in the meantime, I don't think there's anything else. I think before we meet up again for Christmas Eve, because the next chapter comes out on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
Merry
right?
Christmas.
Don't
Oh,
say
yeah.
that. Don't.
Yeah.
don't say
Non-specific winter season holiday
Mhm.
with tinsel and Christmas trees. And
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, because apparently there's no Christmas, which is kind of fucked up.
Actually, if there's no Christmas, does this imply that there's no Jesus Christ in Spy Family?
Exactly.
that.
They don't have Christianity.
No, they're heathens.
No, but that doesn't make
They
sense
are
because they have Eden.
Yeah.
Eden, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
what
I
the
guess
hell?
Jesus wasn't born on Christmas Day. He was born on like
No, but
I don't know,
Christmas
some
Day
other
wasn't
random day.
I'm gonna
I
need
guess
Jesus
the
here in a
only-
minute because I'm bleeding out. So
Okay,
I will talk to you
okay.
all later. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all
All
again
right,
soon.
bye.
Bye.
bye.